Hello everyone, welcome back to Canadian Boxing Hub. We have some clarification as to the May 3rd card containing Canelo Alvarez against William Skull. We now have the undercard announced. Some good fights here and some Canadian content as well, so wanted to hop on to chat about some of these bouts. Of course, we've got Canelo versus Skull in the main event. I think everyone is quite of the opinion that Canelo will take that quite comfortably. In the co-main, we have Munguia Saras. That should be Saras Munguia, as Saras is coming in here off of the back of the victory knockout he had against Munguia, which ended up being, I believe, the upset of the year last year with the Ring magazine. In the third fight down the list, of course, we have Martin Bakole versus AJAGBA. So it's good to see this confirmed. Of course, this was the understanding that we would still see Martin Bakole on this card after his late step-in against Joseph Parker on the February 22nd last Crescendo card, of course, replacing Daniel Dubois in that fight. Much was made of that. Bakole was knocked out in the second round. He did make it to his feet. He did make the count, but of course, Billy Nelson, his trainer, pulling him out of there at that time, seemingly wanting to salvage this opportunity on another big card in another fight. We know the IBF mandatory spot is not on the table anymore for this fight. Bakole did, unfortunately, by taking a loss against Parker, rule himself out of being made the mandatory should he win this fight. But nonetheless, I think it's a good heavyweight scrap between two guys that are fairly evenly matched. I do expect Bakole to come through this one. I could see him stopping AJAGBA, but it is a lot of question marks. Of course, he's coming off of the back of being heavily dropped by Joseph Parker with a thunderous right hand. AJAGBA can crack, so is there now some dent in the armor that AJAGBA will take a little bit of confidence, although we saw the out-of-shape Bakole being knocked out, and seemingly he'll be coming in off the back of a full training camp and being in better shape for this one. Nonetheless, should be interesting. Then we go down to a Cruiserweight Championship fight. This is our Canadian content here. We've got Badou Jack defending the title that he won a few years ago, had stripped and then regained, all without having another fight in the interim. He'll be defending against Ryan ROZICKI, who is the WBC #1 challenger. He recently came off a draw in the interim title fight against Yamil Peralta. Everyone who seemed to watch that fight was of the belief that ROZICKI won quite comfortably, getting an unfortunate draw in that fight, but nonetheless maintaining his mandatory status. ROZICKI is a brawler. He's got a very old school style. Again, I'll encourage everyone listening to this, if you haven't seen Ryan ROZICKI fight, go ahead, take a look. There are some of his fights up on his promoter, Three Lions Promotions YouTube. He's a better boxer, I think, than he often gets credit for, because he is the kind of guy that'll just put his chin down, swing, and go hell for leather with everybody until he gets them out of there. I expect, of course, a little bit more of a disciplined effort in this fight against Badou Jack, who, although 41 years of age, I believe, at this point, is still a very slick boxer. So it will be interesting to see the stylistic matchup. Does ROZICKI come and try to really put it on Jack, or does he take more of the approach he had against the counterpuncher Peralta in the last fight, which was some more educated pressure? Will be interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think. So early picks for these fights. I am going to go Canelo. Munguia regaining the loss he suffered to Saras. I do think he was in control of that fight for the most part until he got absolutely wiped out by Saras, who up to that point didn't have much of a history of putting anybody to kip. So Bakole I do have as my favorite in with AJAGBA, though there are many question marks there, so it'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. And then I do You know, it's going to be hard to make a prediction in the Jack Rozicki fight just because of Jack's inactivity, his age. You want to go with the more active, younger guy in this fight, but we haven't necessarily ever seen Rozicki fight anyone of this pedigree, albeit the age difference. So I'm going to go with my Canadian bias. I'm going to say Rozicki can grit this one out. If it does go to the cards, I do worry that it would be a Jack decision. He's the kind of guy that can pinch rounds. But we'll see. This is all you can ask for as a challenger, is to get the shot at the title. So it's in Ryan Rozicki's hands now to do his thing and try to get a win. But huge to see Canadian challenger on a CANELO card in Riyadh. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you have winning these fights? Is this a good card? Is it a little bit less than could be expected for some of these big Riyadh season cards? Leave your thoughts, comment, like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time.